Every day, people line up. Business is steady. But this kind of business is not something anyone here wants to see. It's a bad sign. Bonnie Whitley runs the food pantry here in the southeast Texas town of Alice.
This year, it's quite apparent that we've had a downturn in our economy here. Folks come in that have never had to come to the food pantry before, and they're without jobs, and so yeah, we've seen an increase.
For half a dozen years, small Texas towns were booming, bursting at the seams. Oil was being pumped out of the ground faster than water flows out of a faucet. Millionaires were made overnight. A barrel of crude was selling for $100. Then, when prices plunged, sucking oil out of the ground here was no longer profitable. Most of the pumps and rigs sit idle now. The thousands of oil field workers who flooded South Texas are gone. Their jobs lost.
Yep. A lot of them have been forced to combine families in one residence, just to make ends meet. Moved back with mom and dad.
Dora Salazar, in line at the food pantry, sees it firsthand. Her son lost his job in the oil field.
He actually had his own apartment in Corpus, and I had been telling him move in with us, and he said, no, I'll be okay, and he finally realized he had to, so he moved in with us. He doesn't like people to know. Got it. There we go.
Inside the food pantry, volunteers box up rice, eggs, some chicken when they have it, and day-old pastries the supermarket donated. A lot of people out of work.
A lot of people. Yep, that's why you see these lines here asking for help, and it's hard.
Folks here have seen the boom to bust cycle many times. This one may be the worst ever. Just ask Mayor Ike Ornelas.
We're looking at about $5 million in sales tax revenue today, where we were at $17 million in 2012.
Everywhere you look, businesses are shut down, even gas stations. There is irony in that. Ornelas believes it's time to end the dependence on oil for prosperity.
Has the mentality about oil finally been broken this time, that we know as community we have to diversify, we have to ensure our own future?
I think it has. I think it's settled to a degree that people understand that oil is no longer here and it's not coming back. And we must unite as a city to move forward.
Promoting Alice, I mean, that's the key, right?
That is the number one key today, is how do we promote Sweet Alice to ensure that this is a great place for people to live and a great place for entice new industry into our area.
The railroad is one option. The mayor believes Alice would be the perfect place to dry dock all the goods flowing out of Mexico on their way to port cities. This is the centerpiece here in Alice of the effort to redefine itself as more than just an oil town. The water park, an Olympic-sized swimming pool surrounded by 40 acres designated for retail shops and restaurants and single-family homes.
So what are we looking at here, Mayor?
We took a tour with the mayor. One day he hopes a community will spring up here with schools and people with good-paying jobs not linked to oil. Quality of life is what you're talking about here, right?
That's it is, quality of life. The amenities for our city and the quality of life, And I think that's important. In order to attract different companies, corporations, you have to have a quality of life.
Alice is far from alone in its oil town blues. In tiny Tilden, a brand new hotel built to accommodate oil workers is empty. Nearly all the 80 cabins at the nearby Eagle Ford Lodge are vacant. When the oil money leaves, everybody suffers. Now, in fairness, Texas Oil still has a heartbeat. It may not be pumping crude like it did, but at least it's pumping. In Three Rivers, 18-wheelers head to and from the massive refinery that is, quite frankly, the only high-rise in town. Oil money was put to good use here, paid for a new school and a perfectly manicured football stadium that rivals many on college campuses. Joy and Roger Phillips never had time to get over there. The RV park they manage kept them hopping 24/7.
Last year at this time, it was constant. I mean, because the park was full, all the cabins was full.
And now?
You're not from Three Rivers here, but you go up and down the drag there, the main drag, and 60% of the buildings are empty. So, it's not good. So.
Cabin number 11.
Joy used to pick up extra income. One tenant paid her $40 a week to do 2 loads of laundry. These days, she and Roger have plenty of time to tend to the roses and the cactus garden. They raise and sell rabbits, too. These little guys are just 5 days old. Makes up for the lost cash.
It's great for me to go to the gas pump and pay that for a tank of gas, but it's not great for the economy here. The rest of America loves it, but South Texas doesn't so much.
No.
I had a lot more money when gas was $3 a gallon.
About 30 miles down this road is the town of Freer, population 3,000. The car dealer there was making money hand over fist until the oil dried up, along with his business. Jacob Cantu owns the Chevrolet dealership. Across the board, nothing moves.
Across the board, nothing really moves.
At one point, when business was booming, Cantu ordered 10 of the most expensive trucks you can buy.
And how much did those cost?
$65,000 to $70,000. And they were gone in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And now, those trucks, I don't even order them anymore because they would just sit.
For the oil workers, Cantu says money was not an issue. They'd come in with pockets full of cash. Now, when people come in, he says, it's to lower their payments.
You worry about the future?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Like I said, bought this dealership, built this brand new building a couple of years ago. So now I have a mortgage on this, and I got to worry about that mortgage payment every single month, along with that light bill, along with my floor plan bill, along with my payroll expenses. I mean, yeah, I just go to sleep every night, and it's a little tough sometimes.
Is it tough to tell employees that, hey, I may have to cut your hours?
It's hard to call people in and say, hey, you're getting 50 hours, we're gonna have to cut you back to 40. Or even those full-timers having to cut them down to part-time, just to make sure that they still have a job.
To keep people working, Cantu has turned heavily to internet sales. You adapt, he says, do whatever it takes to stay afloat.
Yeah, we anticipated sales to just keep on the way they were. It's just that thing is, things are up and, you're on your high horse and, you don't expect everything to fall out from underneath you.
History, they say, is destined to repeat itself. But here in Texas, no one wanted to believe the oil would stop flowing so soon and the good times would end.